Shadow knows your fate. Most nights, I convinced myself the shadow at the end of my hospital bed was just a trick of the dim hallway lights, cast by the cracked door. But tonight, as the ward settled into its midnight hush, the shadow leaned closer, and in a voice that sounded like paper tearing, it promised to show me the moment of my death. If you listen, I'll tell you what I saw, because I don't think I'll be able to sleep again, not after what it whispered. I'd been in the hospital for weeks, fighting an infection that wouldn't quit, watching the world blur through morphine and fever dreams. The nurses were kind, but always hurried, and the only constant was that shape, unmoving, featureless, always perched just out of arm's reach. I told myself it was a coat on a hook, a trick of my exhausted mind. But tonight, it spoke, and my room became impossibly cold. "Do you want to see?" it asked. I couldn't answer, but it didn't need permission. Suddenly, the room flickered and I saw myself in third person, lying in bed, but my body was wrong, bloated, skin waxy, eyes wide and staring. The machines were silent. The nurses rushed in, but everything moved in slow motion, their mouths open in silent screams as something black and shapeless poured from my own mouth, crawling across the sheets and up the walls. It was familiar, that darkness. It was the shadow, but multiplied, oozing into every corner of the hospital, snuffing out lights and swallowing the cries of the living. As the vision ended, I snapped back, heart pounding, the shadow now inches from my face. "This is how it ends," it rasped, "for you and for them." The machines by my bedside blipped, screens flickering, and I realized the shadow was no longer waiting. It was hungry, and tonight, it had finally decided to move. If you're watching this, and you ever see a darkness that never shifts at the edge of your vision, don't listen if it speaks. Because now I know, the shadow doesn't just watch. It chooses.